Hello students, we shall continue Milton's Paradise Lost. So here Satan says, to bow and sue for grace with suppliant knee and defy his power, who from terror of his arms so late doubted his empire. That is, if I beg for his mercy or forgiveness, Satan says, it would indeed be a disgrace or humiliation worse than their defeat. And he says with full confidence that it is decreed by fate that their strength and ethereal essence cannot perish. So since their defeat, their late experience show that they are not inferior in physical strength, but they are superior in wisdom. So they may resolve with greater hope of success to carry on unending hostilities, either by force or by treachery. So this is what Satan says, to fight against God either by force or cunningness, to win him either by force or cunningness. And Satan will never be reconciled to their mighty enemy, who now excels in victory, in arms not worse, in foresight much advanced. We may with more successful hope resolve to wage by force or guile eternal war, irreconcilable to a grand foe, who now triumphs in the excess of joy, sole reigning holds the tyranny of heaven. So Satan here says, God who now excels in victory and in his unbounded joy, God reigns as the unchallenged tyrant of heaven, but this soon will be changed. This situation will be changed. I am going to wage war. Satan says that he is going to wage war against God, against the reigns, the sole reigner, against the reigns as the unchallenged tyrant of heaven, against God who reigns heaven as the unchallenged ruler. So spake the apostate angel, though in pain, wanting aloud, but racked with deep despair, and him thus answered soon his bold compeer. So thus spoke the fallen angel. Apostate angel is the fallen angel. Though tortured with pain, he boasted loudly while he was a prey to deep despondency. So his bold comrade soon answered him thus. So who is his bold comrade? His bold comrade is Beelzebub. So after listening to Satan's speech, his bold comrade is Beelzebub. He started to answer Satan. So now we are going to see Beelzebub's speech. O prince, O chief of many throned powers. So this is how Beelzebub begins his speech. So he begins his speech by glorifying Satan's deeds. So Beelzebub starts his speech by glorifying Satan's deeds. O prince, so he addresses Satan as prince. O prince, O chief of many throned powers, that led the embattled seraphim to war. So here, seraphim, there are two orders or ranks of angels. That is, one is cherubim and the second is seraphim. So one is cherubim and this is seraphim. So that led the embattled seraphim. So according to Pseudo-Dionysius, there are 9 ranks in the hierarchy of angels, 3 in each of 3 spheres. So seraphim are the highest and thrones third after cherubim. So as I said, listen please, seraphim are the highest and they are the thrones third after cherubim. Now that led the embattled seraphim refers to the angels, the fallen angels. So, because he was the leader, Beelzebub says, O prince, O chief of many throned powers, that is, chief, you were the ruler of many throned powers, you were the leader to that battle, the defeated battle. Satan was the leader that led the embattled seraphim, refers to the angels. Angels to war under thy conduct, under thy leadership, under your leadership, under Satan's leadership, in the dreadful deeds in the war. We were fearless. So that was a fearless war. The war which we waged against God, that was a fearless war. Endangered heaven's perpetual king. And we are endangered is, we are equal to God. We are likely to become extinct, endangered in heaven's perpetual king. See, a serial God, or we are likely to become extinct because of you were fearless. So you were to become extinct because, Satan, you were fearless. And to put to prove his high supremacy, whether upheld by strength or chance or fate. Too well I see and rue the dire event that with sad overthrow and foul defeat has lost us heaven and all his mighty host in horrible destruction laid thus low. And Beelzebub says he regretfully mourned the lost. So Beelzebub says that they shook the throne of heaven's long reigning king by Satan's terrific valor, and challenged his power and authority, which he owed either, which God actually owed either to superior strength or to chance. So Beelzebub says God owed the strength or the superior power either by chance or to destiny. Okay, whether upheld by strength, by God's power, maybe by chance or by destiny. I realize and I regretfully mourn the direful event, that is the painful result. Dire event is the painful result. We have not only been overthrown and defeated, but we have lost heaven. And all those numerous angels have been laid low in destruction. So, as far as immortal being can suffer destruction, for the mind and spirit remain unconquerable. So, the mind and spirit of the angels remain unconquerable, and also the strength they which they are going to recover. So, though their glory, that is the physical luster, is dimmed and their happiness is merged into unending mystery here in this abyss, but still they have not lost their hope. In horrible destruction laid thus low, they have lost heaven, and all this mighty hosts were lying in the horrible destruction, that is in hell. As far as God's and heavenly essence can perish, for the mind and spirit remains invincible, and vigor soon returns, though all glory extinct and happy state here swallowed up in endless misery. So here Beelzebub says, as far as God's and heavenly essence can perish. Okay, so as far as they exist, they are incapable of being defeated because they are angels. They are incapable of being defeated. Their vigor will soon return, and they are going to regain their power. That is, the repercussions are here swallowed up in this endless misery. He's talking about the repercussions. And he says, Beelzebub says, God's wrath, or that by the right of conquest, which he waged repercussions. And now Beelzebub, he has a doubt But what if he a conqueror, whom I now of force believe almighty, since no less than such could have overpowered such a force as ours, have left us with our spirit and strength entire strongly to suffer and support our pains. So now God has deliberately left these devils their strength to be his slaves. So carrying out his errands in the gloomy deep of hell. So he doubts, Beelzebub doubts whether God has deliberately left them with the power. So he says he has taken, they were drastically changed, their appearance were drastically changed, but still they possess the same power or the vigor. So he now doubts, Beelzebub now doubts whether God has left their strength deliberately so that they will be his God's slaves, carrying out his errands in the gloomy deep of the hell. That then such could have overpowered such forces as have left us this our spirit and strength entire strongly to suffer and support our pains, to endure our pains, to support our pains. Whether he would have given us this courage to endure or to strongly support this pain, that we may so suffice, that we may so satisfy his vengeful ire, or do him mightier services as his thralls, or whether he wants us to serve him as his thralls or subjugated slaves. Thralls is slaves. Or do God want us to be his slaves, simply serving him, subjugated slaves? Why does he has given us this power? The angels were wondering. So Beelzebub, he questions, why does he has given us this power? Whether to satisfy his vengeful ire or to serve him like slaves. He says, we do not know by right of war, whatever his business be. So now he says, whatever his business be, God's business be, we do not know, but we are going to wage war against God. By right of war, whatever his business be, here in the heart of hell, to work in fire or do his errands in the gloomy deep, what can it then avail, though it we feel strength undiminished or eternal being to undergo eternal punishment? Whether to with speedy words the archfiend replied. So what could be God's intention? You can't escape this deep hell. To do his errands in the gloomy deep is to do God's job, duty as someone's behalf. So he says, what could be God's intention? No one knew. But still, they have to undergo this eternal punishment, or to undergo this eternal punishment. Whether with speedy words the archfiend is Satan, replied. So when Beelzebub completed his speech, archfiend Satan started to give his answer. So Beelzebub, in a disheartening way, he says, God may employ them as slaves in whatever task God pleases. So here in the depth of the hell, they have to work in fire or to do whatever business God may assign them. So he may lay them in the eternal darkness of chaos. Or what good is then to them, or their strength unfailing of immortal nature, but to go through this unending torment. So they have to undergo the unending torment. They have to undergo this unending torment. So to this speech, Satan quickly replied. Whether with speedy words, the archfiend replied. So to this Beelzebub speech, Satan replied. So this we'll see in next class, Satan's reply.